Wedding Winers, the podcast where love and wine go hand in hand. Whether you're planning your dream wedding or just love a good wine, we're here to uncork the best stories, advice and inspiration. I'm sorry for doing that. I'm so sorry for inspiration.
I think you're getting more
enthusiastic.
Yeah, every episode that goes
Now I
on.
found my calling.
TV presenter.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
Inspiration.
Let's win £50,000.
Just to clarify, there's no money.
No,
it's not a game show.
So another podcast, and we are sponsored again by the Old Bridge.
Yeah.
We're lovely enough to give us some wine. So Becca, tell us about the wine today.
So today we have got the Côte de Gascogne.
White.
A white, yes, love a white wine. This is described as aromatic with bright stone fruit and citrus flavours and exotic notes of pineapple. And it does actually smell like pineapple,
It does
doesn't
really
it?
smell like pineapple.
It's really coming through.
Yeah. Becca's reading this off of some notes because they were really kind to give us some notes. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on there, isn't there?
Yeah.
But they did give us. That's why it sounds like you're reading it.
Yeah, sorry.
She is reading it.
Yeah, I am reading it. And yeah, Jack from the Old Bridge Hotel sent us over some notes and descriptions about the wine. I really like this one.
I do. I don't really like white usually, but I feel like this one is really nice. It's a pineapple, isn't it?
Yeah, I had the tin pot the other day and I really liked that, but I think this might have just beaten it.
Oh,
I'm
really?
really enjoying it, yeah.
Well, cheers.
Cheers. Okay, so today, Michelle, it's your turn to tell us what you hate about the wedding industry, weddings themselves.
Okay.
Hit us with it.
Well, you lot didn't want me to do this one, but I'm going to do it because we always said when we were going to do a podcast that it was going to be a controversial thing. So I'm doing it.
Oh, God.
Here we go. Strap in, guys. So, I hate children at weddings.
Ooh.
I know, right?
I'm so glad you ended that with
Children.
In general.
No, it's a spicy one, isn't it?
Mm.
Really controversial.
Yeah.
But I come from it from two very different angles.
Okay.
I mean, both of them ended. Children at weddings shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So, do it come from it from a wedding guest or a bride or a mum?
A wedding guest.
Okay. A guest.
Yeah.
With my children at the wedding.
I don't know. That's the
Okay,
option.
okay, sure, okay. I'll give you all angles.
Yeah.
If you are getting married and you don't have children, I think that is the disclaimer. If you don't have children, first off, kids cost money. And for lots of venues, they cost the same as an adult. Or thereabouts. Right?
Really?
Yeah. Not all places give you a discount for children.
Wow.
And also all they'll say is the kids is age up to about 5.
Really?
Yes.
I'm shocked at that.
Well, see, where I am, it's up to 12.
But, and what is your plate is your kids chips and chicken nuggets or something?
So there's two options. You can have either kids menu or you can have a half portion of the adult menu. So
That's
there is
true.
the option if they wanted to have the full
Yeah.
shebang.
Either way, if you've got loads of friends who've got children and you're the bride and groom without children, you then feel like you have to invite, if you went with one, you have to invite all of them. And they're pricey. It still costs money, right?
Yeah.
Per head, it still costs money.
It is extra guests, I suppose.
It's a lot of guests, right? And you also then, as a bride and couple getting married, feel like you either feel like you have to entertain them, in the sense of getting some kind of teepees, games, outdoor games.
Yeah. There has to be something
to entertain the children.
Yeah.
There's another cost. There's another £1,000 thrown at the problem.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the children are a problem. I'm just saying. I'm just that, it's something that just adds up.
Yeah.
And I feel that, does your kid want to be there? Does your kid want to sit there as a parent? Would your child like to sit there for 45 minutes for a ceremony, use words they might not even understand, wanting to run around, you as a parent then thinking, oh my God, I hope they don't make a noise, I hope they don't spill this drink, I hope they don't do this. Then if your kids are there the whole time, you want to be mingling with people, you can't because you've got to watch your own child who's, if it's mine, running off somewhere.
Do you think if the bride and groom already have children that they shouldn't invite their own children? Or do you mean just the guests' children?
If the bride and groom don't have children, just scrap kids altogether. Because
I
also,
agree.
as a mum, I love it when my friends say, it's alright, kids don't come. I'm like, yes.
Same. I couldn't
Yes.
think of anything worse worse than taking my children to a wedding.
See,
Because
you're agree now.
I do agree. I think it's a little bit different when the bride and groom have children.
True.
But I think that there's so many people that offer babysitting services at weddings now
Yeah.
that actually for the bride and groom's children, that is a really good idea.
That is a really good idea.
Because although there's lots of family members that are there to kind of help you look after the children, it's also taken away from their day then if mother of the bride or mother of the groom has to be chasing around children throughout the day.
Yeah.
She might need to sit in the hotel room with the grandkids, so she's not there for the evening.
Exactly.
So yeah, I would definitely.
So if the bride and groom had children, I get it. Like, not invite a few for them to have friends or something.
Well, just their kids, I think.
No, I was still not let them have like a friend or something. Because I just get a bit lonely.
I think it's just such a big expense.
It's hugely expensive.
And it's a lot of just hassle.
And they don't
it's
want
not
to be
even
there.
necessarily just the kids misbehaving, getting bored. As you say, it's childcare. Like, there's been a few weddings happening recently where they've had family members that haven't been invited to the wedding that have had to come and collect the children because it's such a long day. Like,
exactly.
The kids are there getting ready in the morning from 8 o'clock and it gets to 10 o'clock at night and they're still either wired on sugar or crashing because it's such a long day.
I must say that a wedding morning with kids there getting ready is always so much more chaotic if there's children.
Yeah.
Because it's really difficult if I'm trying to do somebody's makeup and they've got a small child on their lap that's wiggly and stuff like that, which does happen because children like to sit on their mummy's lap or whatever. And it's just generally a bit more chaotic in the morning if there is children running around. But equally, if you don't mind that, great. But
it does put everything behind. Timing, getting ready.
Wise, it does make everything longer. Yeah.
And stress. Like, I was a bridesmaid twice last year, year before last, and both of my kids, both of those were like a page boy and a flower girl. So it wasn't like I had the choice of whether they could or couldn't come.
Yeah.
So I would have been like, and they were, so I had to be there, and like, as their mum, I was like, oh God, I need to make sure that I've got toys and stuff to entertain them in the morning. I had to make sure they were still dressed. Like, one of them, my son had this really, really sweet 3-piece suit type thing and shoes. Before we'd even left, like, to go to the ceremony, that suit had been on and off like 3 times. He just didn't want to wear it.
Kids look so cute in their wedding outfits.
He looks amazing. The shoes obviously were hurting him. He didn't like his bow tie. He didn't want that on. He didn't want a jacket on. It was too hot. He didn't want his trousers on. It was too hot. He wanted his shorts on. And it was just on and off. And he was so overwhelmed as well at the whole. He was probably like 4, and he was so overwhelmed with everything that was going on that it was just like too much for him anyway. So I think if you have children and you want children involved, then a good idea is like the babysitting services or something like that as well.
I think
because they are cute. Like,
having your own kids at weddings, obviously you have
for sure. If you're the bride,
But you can get some. We had a really lovely moment at a wedding recently where the couple was signing the register, and they were taking pictures. And the little girl went in between them to take pictures, and all of a sudden her tooth fell out. And that's a perfect moment, and the photographer captured it so perfectly because she just spat her tooth out into her hand. As she smiled, it fell out, and it was the perfect moment.
How sweet.
And there was such a massive round of applause, and it was like that moment in front of everybody for her to lose her first tooth.
When her next tooth falls out, though, and she doesn't get that that moment, she's going to be disappointed.
But there's moments like that you can have at weddings with kids that
you
might not have that sparkle if you didn't have the kids there.
Were kids at your wedding?
No. But I didn't know many kids at that point, so...
But you did know some? Did you have kids at your wedding, Becca?
No, we had no children.
No. And we did, we were still, like, it wasn't a policy, but we just didn't invite them. I guess.
We
also didn't know many. We were younger, but
I think it's tricky as well, especially when it comes to like venue restrictions with sizes.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
And it's like 60 guests.
Some
people with kids, it's like there's an extra 5 people just taken up by the kids.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people I know feel really strongly about having their children there though. Like I had definitely had brides before say to me that they've really annoyed family members by saying that they're not having children at their wedding, by saying, they can't organise childcare so they can't then come to the wedding and things like that.
I think that's such an excuse though. like a wedding's planned within a month.
Yeah.
Like, there's more than sufficient notice. In most cases, over 12 months for a wedding. Like, there should be... I mean, obviously everyone's situation varies and everyone's got different circumstances, but if you have 12 months to plan ahead and organise childcare, then...
Just on a slightly different note then, about inviting guests, if somebody meets a new partner, yeah, I feel like this is a bit of a controversial one as well. When they meet a new partner and say you sent out the invites, I don't know, when do you send out save the dates? Or
save the dates can be like a year.
Yeah.
Invites about 5 months.
And then they meet somebody just after. So they might have been with that person for almost a year, which is a really long time, but then they can't come to the wedding because they weren't together when the first invites went out. That's tricky, isn't it?
As I'm a people pleaser, so I would always add a +1 to a friend that was coming on their own anyway.
You would give everybody a +1.
Not everybody, but I feel like if there were people that I knew were, say, single, that could potentially want to bring someone to make them feel more comfortable, then I would give them a +1. But if I knew they knew everybody, then I'd be like, maybe not.
See, I just think though, then potentially you could end up with quite a lot of strangers at your wedding. You could, couldn't you?
Depends how many single people you know, I suppose, that are then getting into relationships with people that you don't know.
Yeah, but if you had quite a lot of single friends and then they went... Because I think when I first got married, I did have quite a lot of single friends. So I potentially could have ended up with quite a lot of people at my wedding that I didn't know.
I would have not added them to the daytime, but so then come in the evening.
Yeah, that's
a good compromise.
Because that's the point when everyone lets their head out a bit, has a bit more to drink, and enjoys it's just so they enjoy themselves.
Because I know some people now who don't add extra guests onto the evening. They say, if you're a day guest, you know, we love you, we want you to be at the wedding, and if you're a day guest, you stay there all day. And it's not, they don't like the idea of then adding other people into the evening that didn't quite make the cut.
Different hierarchy of friends.
Yeah, literally that.
That is what it is though, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not we love you, but we don't love you enough to be there all day.
I guess like work colleagues do kind of fall into that category, don't they? So you wouldn't necessarily go and meet that person for dinner or go out together, but you see them all the time at work, so you feel like they should have some sort of place. But we definitely did like a day and then an evening, and added extra people into the evening. But I know some people now who've just said, you know, we're only having this number of people day and
yeah. I hear that a lot in the shop actually as well.
Yeah.
And also I guess a lot of people are going, I've had quite a lot recently that are getting married like Norfolk or Yorkshire, like a little bit further away, so they don't have the day and evening. Because people have to travel. So they're still inviting like 60, 70 people, but they're not having that separate, because people wouldn't travel up to Yorkshire for the evening reception. They should really want to, I suppose, but you know, they're travelling.
Well, I've had a few weddings recently where they've had it really, really intimate during the day, so no more than say 20 people, and then when it comes to evening guests, have a huge party and let everone then next to their dog. Like,
that's cool. That's a good way to budget.
Did you just say stripper?
No. Invite all the strippers.
Again, hen do or stag do actually say for the wedding.
I said cheaper.
Cheaper.
It's a really good tip for people to save money. Like, have it really, really like.
But then some venues don't allow it. Some venues have a minimum number.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I had a bridal shop who she came with her sister, and I was like, oh, is she your only sister? She's like, no, I do have another sister, but we've fallen out because she wasn't having kids at a wedding. So her sister's children weren't invited to her wedding, and they're probably fallen out. Yeah, and they're fallen out. The sister was like, well,
some people feel
them
very strongly about it, don't they?
Yeah.
Very strongly.
I think it depends. Like, if you've got friends that have kids that might not behave as well as maybe your own.
Only well-behaved children invited.
But then it draws the lines, doesn't it? Because then I would probably get offended if someone wouldn't invite me and my daughter or my daughter to wedding, because I think she's relatively well behaved.
I don't think you can base it on that.
But that's the thing. You can't base it on that. You can't be like, no, your child's well behaved, so they can come, but this child
for sure
can't come.
That's so rude.
And you have to draw a line. Like, at what point do you draw that line and not annoy
Do you know what it is for that bride? That bride that came in the shop, she had no children.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like she was inviting some and just not her sisters.
Yeah.
There was no children. But then again, like, where's that line with children? Like, it's a 16-year-old child. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you had two children, one was 11 and one was 9, well, do you know what? If they were just, where's the line?
Yeah.
Tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'd just say.
No under 18s, don't
No
worry about
under 18s.
ID anyone at the bar.
Gonna get wild.
Yeah.
Keep them away from it.
It's like, where is that line? You don't know where the line is.
I think it's got to be all or
It's all
nothing.
personal, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for me though, I think it's all or nothing. You're either all in, yes, all the kids there, or no, not at all.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think it's a fun at weddings.
Fun.
Our kids
Yeah,
fun.
I think they're good fun.
I think
Because the thing is, I think if you don't have kids at a wedding, a lot of couples don't necessarily book entertainment.
True.
You might not necessarily want to book a photo booth. You might not want to book. I don't know. There's lots of different activities that you might not necessarily book if you don't have kids there, but actually, the adults are more likely to have fun.
My sister had got married and she had a photo booth, and my daughter was not out of that photo booth. Like,
But then if she
but she
didn't
was
have
she was too short that like the photo cuts off half her head, and these photos are all around her bedroom. She loved it. So yeah, that was just there for my daughter.
I think entertaining adults.
It's true.
Couples might not think to entertain adults or things
True,
like
yeah.
sweethearts. Oh, they're great if you've got kids, but in my opinion, I've got a really sweet tooth.
I
love
went to a
sweetheart.
wedding that had a sweet wall, and it was unbelievable. I tell you what, I've never had bigger bag sweets in my life.
Exactly. So adults
I
might
was
not
eating them in
would
the
you-
morning.
Would couples think to book that if they didn't have
Yeah.
kids coming to the wedding? I don't know.
Maybe I'm just a big kid, because I loved it.
My other sister had a bucking bronco, and she bounced castles
No.
and stuff. Yeah, so it was that for the kids.
Just for adults.
Well, it was for like meant to be.
I
Not
bounce a
for
castle.
the kids, but like
Oh.
it got very competitive between the men. You
Oh,
can imagine,
yeah.
can't you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was quite funny.
Bucking Bronco.
And she had a Christmas wall as well.
I love Christmas wall. There was a wedding
Do you?
in Houston, they had a
That's
Christmas tree.
That's quite a new thing, isn't it? A Christmas
Yeah.
My
tree.
They called it the Christmas tree.
Ah,
It
very
was on a
clever.
Christmas tree. It was brilliant.
Very clever.
If coming away from the sweet aspect again, like if people aren't having cakes, they're having something different, either a cheese tower or a
So
Christmas
much
ball.
food at weddings, isn't there? So much food.
So much. That's what I'll go for.
I'm not sad about it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of food.
That is a story for another time, because we can talk about different food. Because I hear so many stories about different food options.
Do
We can
you?
do it on the front. Different choices and stuff of food.
I hate it when there's too much food. Never.
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 That would never happen.
Never ever.
Yeah.
Never
Right.
touch food.
So anyway,
We want to know.
if I'm getting remarried, there's no children.
There's no children of mine either.
I would have kids, but that's just me. Would you have kids at your wedding? Are you married? Have you had kids at your wedding? Would you not have kids at your wedding?
Any funny stories about kids at wedding, teeth coming out?
Yeah.
Can you beat the story about teeth coming
Yeah.
out? We are on Instagram. Give us a follow. We are _wedding winers. So it's WEDDINGWINERS winers, as in wine. So yeah, at _wedding winers on Instagram. Drop us a message. Give us a follow. Just say hi. And we will get back to you. We will give you a shout out. Maybe in another series, if this one goes well. Might be
Well,
nice
it's
to
gonna
have
go
that.
well.
Who knows?
If we can put with each other for another series, and that would be great.
If you're rich, kind enough to sponsor us again.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. We'll have more.
Yeah.
We can get through all these hangovers.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers.